If you feel like you're finally starting to understand the concepts around trading, but you keep sabotaging yourself because of fear or greed, this video is going to give you 3 simple tricks to help you push through that. And I should warn you, the third one may break your brain just a little bit. Let's dive in. Okay, the first one is simple. You probably learned it in woodworking class when you were in high school. Measure twice, cut once. It's very simple. You don't get a second chance at a first impression. Every time you do your technical analysis and you see an opportunity and you say, I'm going to enter this trade, you should be able to give yourself an extra 60 seconds to double check your TA. And if you happen to forget this, maybe because you get a little bit excited, it's very simple. Write a little sticky note for yourself. You can put it on a post-it, you can put it on an A4 sheet of paper and put it up on your wall. It simply says, look left. What this means is, zoom out for a second, look to the left, and see if you missed any support or resistance levels along the way. You might be missing very obvious things because you've got too many indicators on your screen or you're too zoomed in. The reason this is really good for your mindset is because once you have measured twice, you've seen any possible barriers that might be in your way. And if you haven't seen them and they're not there, then that means that you can have extra confidence when you enter the trade. As the trade moves, you're going to be less likely to pull out early. That's what she said. And sabotage yourself. Why? Because you measured twice and cut once. The second tip is very simple because you've been doing it for your whole life. When you first started looking into trading, you might have heard about some really professional traders talking about mindfulness and how they practice meditation and things like that. We're not going to deal with that right now. We're going to come from a purely logical standpoint so that you can really understand how important this can be and how much it can help you. If you suddenly hear a loud noise, cars coming towards you really fast, whenever there is an emergency, you immediately start to breathe faster. You breathe faster because your biomechanics is telling you that you may need more oxygen because you're going into a fight or flight response. There is an immediate threat. So you start to, right? And that creates a feeling and sense of panic. It's logical that if you know that fear and greed create that type of emotional response within you, the easiest and simplest way to remove that is to breathe slowly. Box breathing is one of the most tried and true meditative breathing techniques used to lower your heart rate and bring you a sense of calm. And it's very simple. You breathe in for 5 seconds, you hold it for 5 seconds, you breathe out for 5 seconds, you hold it for 5 seconds, and it looks like this. If you do that a few times in a row, your entire biomechanics is naturally going to reset because it's not used to it. It's used to you breathing in going, or if you're panicked, if you change up the rhythm of your breathing, it completely changes your biochemistry. And you will notice it the first time you do it. Box breathing will simply help bring you back to center. And now it's time for number 3. I told you this one might break your brain a little bit, so you tell me in the comment section if I was right or if I was wrong. Because what we're going to talk about now is more of a deep issue. When you suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out, do you ever ask yourself, why? Why do you feel that way? Most people, they enter a trade, they immediately feel like fear, they make a mistake, they sabotage themselves, and they go, oh, I got FOMO, you know, I'll have to work on that. But do you ever wonder, why? Why, when nothing's happening, no one just came in the room, there wasn't an earthquake, you didn't hear an accident outside, no one's calling for you, how come this feeling suddenly arises within you when nothing's happening in the room? There's numbers on a screen, you enter a trade, and this emotion comes up. This fear or this greed. And what it actually comes down to, which most people don't want to deal with, is you and your feelings of worth, your feelings of self-worth. Because if you knew that the money was on the way, you wouldn't feel anything. If you go to your job and you're clocking in your hours and you know that you're going to do X, Y, Z, and at the end of the day you get your paycheck, you don't feel anything. Right? When you put your money on the table and you're terrified that you're going to lose it, this is what brings up all of these emotions because of your relationship to money. Now, all of this stuff we dive into in massive depth inside the main mindset course in InvestiShare, but the point is that you are worth it. So you need to find a way to remind yourself of that. There's no reason that you don't deserve anything that you ask for, anything that you work towards, especially if you work diligently, consistently, concisely, then you should get it. It's yours. There are lots of reasons why people don't think they're worth some form of prosperity. People think they're not worthy of love. People think they're not worthy of abundance. They're not worthy of good health. They're not worthy of a large amount of money. And that might be you. If it is, there's lots of simple ways to try to reprogram this relationship with yourself, because you better believe it's not your relationship to the market. The market doesn't care about you. It's your relationship to yourself. And when you have a really high quality relationship with yourself and your self-worth, it changes how you trade, because you're able to see things more clearly. This is why inside the InvestiShare courses and community, we tell everyone to do the mindset course first, because it just saves time. It saves so much time to get your mindset ready and get yourself into a good headspace before you start to try to execute on things. I make a joke with myself. I have a little sticky note down there that just says L'Oreal. Why? Because you're worth it. When I was first getting started and I realized that part of the reason I panicked was because I didn't think I deserved to make as much money as I had on my goal list, I just wrote down this little funny thing that was L'Oreal, because you're worth it. And it just kind of gave me a little bit of, just kind of relieved the tension.
That's what she said.
It's important that you make it fun for yourself. It's important that you treat yourself with kindness and consideration. And most importantly, it is imperative that you work towards knowing that you deserve what you are working towards. I hope this video helped. If it did, please do the YouTube thing and hit the like and subscribe button. And if you'd like to learn more, there's a link down below for all of our community and courses and stuff. I really wish you the best. Safe trading is profitable trading. Thank you for your time. It's your most valuable asset, and I appreciate you giving me just a little piece of it. Until next time, stay fearless.